Welcome, everyone. My name is Clever. I'm presenting this designer webinar. I'll be assisted by my colleague Shade. Just to let you know that everyone is muted. So if you have got a question, you can just click on the raise hand. We've got also the chat section where you can type in your questions if you've got questions, or you can just click on the hand to raise your hand and we can quickly attend to your question or something, a suggestion that you need to. All right, just to let you know that Shade, my colleague, will be assisting, and as he will be assisting, he will also be taking the notes of what you guys are going to ask. This is our first designer webinar that we are hosting. We're looking to host a series of these in the future. So we are going to cover not much advanced, but the basics of how to start with this designer. Most of our clients, you know this designer from the training point. So since it is our first one, we'll be covering the basics. That's what we'll be doing, okay? So here, my colleague Shade Boysens will be assisting me. Later on, I'll be switching off the camera. I only turned on the camera so that at least you can see the person that is presenting or hosting. All right, and to let you know that, guys, we are working from home due to our internet and lines that are down in the offices. So we are working from home. You can expect anything to happen. Sometimes the internet might be a bit slow, all right? Then the next thing is what we are going to cover, or the topics that we are going to cover. We'll be doing direct solid modeling. Mainly we'll be covering one of the parts that is, you guys, you know it very well. It's well known to most of our clients or customers, because when we do the HCAM training, we always cover that. Even in the designer as well, we do cover that as well, okay? And we'll be also showcasing the 2D drawing manager, where you can do your dimensions. There's a lot that you can do within the 2D drawing manager window. If you would like to print, you can also print from that. Then we'll be showing you, we'll be loading an assembly part. On the assembly part, there's a lot that we can do in there. We can group the parts. We can dynamically make changes to the parts which are grouped simultaneously at once. Then we'll be showing you as well the quick alignment of the parts. If you've got, say you've got jigs and fixtures and you need to quickly align your parts, it's something that we'll be showing you as well. After that one, we'll have time for the questions and answer sessions. Like I said, my colleague Shade will be taking down whatever questions that you've got. You guys, through the chat box, you can also put suggestions of what you'd like us to show you next time when we are hosting this webinar. All right. So at the moment, we'll be concentrating on what we have just mentioned there, but all that you suggest we'll be putting down, and then we'll be presenting them in the next webinar that we are going to host next time. All right. So I'm going to start now. I'll be switching off the camera. Like I said, if you've got a question, please just raise the hand, or else you can click on the chat section. Your message will come up and we'll be able to see. We can stop and we can go on like that. I hope everyone is ready to go. Okay. I'll quickly minimize this one at the moment, and I'll go straight to my designer. All right, this is my designer open at the moment. So this is designer 2023.4. All right, so on this designer, I'll start with the part that I've mentioned that I will be doing a direct modeling or solid modeling. So I'll quickly go straight and start showing that. On a direct modeling, say I need to design that packing adapter, which I've mentioned, I can go and select my cube, and then I can just choose my application point where I want to position my data right on the part. So I'm going to select there. And as you can see here, automatically it gave me this part. That means on my last designing, I had these sizes of the part. So I'll select 3 points so that I can dynamically design or move my mouse to the certain positions and sizes that I want. Say I want 140 millimeters and 140 millimeters as well. And then I am going to tilt it this way. Then I can give it the thickness of 30 millimeters and press enter. So you can see there is a block which I have quickly designed at the moment. I can end my commands, and I want to quickly go and put blades or fillets on each corner. So I go and select my blends, and I tell it that I need the edges or the edges that are perpendicular from a certain face that I'm going to pick. So edges away from face. Then I select here. The moment I select, you can see there, it gives me a radius. And this radius, it's exactly the same right round. So I need to give different sizes of the radius or the fillets that I've got. I would go and select, set different values. Then I can get all the 4 corners given the fillet or the ability to enter the fillet size that I want. I can pull this, as you can see, dynamically. As I've mentioned, that will be directly designing a part dynamically. So right in here, as you can see, I'm able to pull that to change my sizes. I also got the ability to double click in there or just left click, type the size that I want. I can go the opposite side and do exactly the same right here. Then the other ones, I will leave as 10 millimeter because I'll need to make changes on them. So I'll quickly right click to confirm that and end my command right in there. Now I've got this shape that you can see there. On this shape, say I want to quickly edit the fillets on these faces right here, the 2 opposite sides. So I can quickly go and tell it I would like to move. And I say mount select so that I can pick more than 1 faces. I select that face and I select this face. Then I can right click. From there, I can start moving my mouse pointer or the arrow that I've got. And you can see my fillets are changing dynamically on both sides, which I've picked up. That's such a very good function or feature in this designer. So I'll make that one 12 millimeter, enter that. And both of the sides have been dynamically changed. Then from there, I need to make this one a shell or a hollow shape on this model. I can then go and say, I need to offset this. On my offset, I can change the size of my component or my part, making it bigger or smaller. So I can select the model that I need to quickly go and make changes. You can see the size have changed. However, I would like to make it a shell. On that shell, I give it the size that I want. I want it to be 4 millimeters. Then on the 4 millimeter, I can then tell it that from which side do I need to make it a hollow. I can either use the non-deflect or a face to remove, which is one of those. So if I select that, I can pick up the top face, and then I can confirm that you can see this is the shape that I've got. Nice feature to use in Designer. All right, from there, I would like to raise this bottom face halfway, the thickness of this part. I know at the moment I've got 4 millimeter from the bottom here. So I can go and say, move. I pick up the face that I want, and you can see there, I can pull it like that. I can either go and just type the distance that I want to use. Right here, you can see there it's changing as I'm pulling this up. We've got so many features to use. I can go and tell it in here, I would like to use a ruler dimension. Then I can tell it from the top here to that bottom, I would like it to not right to the bottom, but to the midsection of the part or the component. I make it 15. You can see now this face has been raised half the thickness of the part. I can confirm that. We can use some shortcuts, the hotkeys like F2 to quickly change the views, the size that you want to view. All right. Then I need to quickly go and bisect this into half, not really to bisect it, but I need to design a certain feature within the part. So I can go to my cuboid again, right to my cuboid. Instead of dynamically designing the shape, I can pre-give it the size that I want. Say in here, I would like to make it 200, which is the length. And the width of this one, I need to make it 8 millimeter. I can probably make this one minus 10 millimeter on that. So here I can tell it that I do not want to combine it or to unite it. I'll just make it as a separate part. So if I left click there, you can see it shows you like that. That means I am cutting it in here so I can make it a separate part right there. If you look at this, you can obviously see that this part, it's not reaching the bottom of my parts. So I need it to reach the bottom of my part. I can pull it downwards. As you can see there, it's getting deeper into the other part like that. I can switch back to my shaded section. Then I type in here, I need to be combined so that it becomes one part. So if I go and tell it unite, there you can see there, it becomes one part. If I go back again, it remains or it gets separated from the main part. I can then pull this angle here like this. Dynamically, I can do that. Or else I can just go and type the angle. So I've got my angle, as you can see in there, which I've pulled like that. 45 degrees, I can change it. I can go and type in here, or else I've got the ability to type it right there, 45, and press enter. You can see there it is, and then I can unite that. One part, as you can see now, quickly confirm that. Now I've got my part, which you can see it's sitting like that. I would like to remove some other sections which are not needed. As I've mentioned, some of you guys, you are familiar with these parts from our training, all right, either from HCAM or from Designer itself. So I need to remove this section here and that section. I've got a command, remove face. I can just go and drag a window. That section has been removed. I've got another option, very good and intuitive to use. I can go and tell it in here, I need to replace a face. So I can go and tell it, I need to replace this one by that face. And you can see there it's gone. All right. The next thing I need to go for is I need to quickly go and add a cylindrical section here and there. So I go to cylinder, right on my cylinder, I will combine the two. So I say unite. And then I need to go and pick the center of this edge. So I'll use this concentric and I go and pick up that. The moment I pick up that, you can see that it creates something like that. I've got the ability to pull this and it becomes bigger dynamically, as you can see there. and I've got the ability to go and pull this one as well. So these are the options that you can see you have got in the software. So I'll make it 12 millimeter there. And then I can pull this until it sits right at the bottom like that. Okay. And it's on Unite. As you can see, if I right click, I've got my cylindrical section, or else I can quickly go to the dynamic options, select 3 points and pick up that. And then I can give it the size of 12. Then I go and pick up the bottom like that. All of those options. You can see, while I can show you one way, there are multiple ways of you to achieve what you need to. Then I can quickly go and say, I need to give blends or fillets. And I go and say multiple selects. And I say in here, edges away from face. Pick up that face and this face, right click. There is my size or my fillet being applied in there. I can confirm that. I'm happy with that. Then I go on, I need to quickly go and put a countable right in here and there. There are multiple ways that we can do it. We've got the whole functions in here. We've got countable options in here. Then, or else I can go and say, I need to go and use the cylindrical section. I can pre-give it the sizes, 8 millimeter radius, and then my height -5, right? Then after that one, I can go and tell it, I need this one to cut right here. So I can quickly go and tell it, go and sit right there. You can see that it comes up. And right there, it sits like that. Now I'm going to apply the holes with threads. If I go to holes, I go to M. That is for my metric threads. And then I tell it, if I go here, I've got a database, as you can see there, to select from what size you need. So I'm going to select an M10. And then I pick up the reference face. I need to position my holes. Select that. After selecting that, I say mount select. And I'm going to pick the center of that and center of that. Let's see, there we are. If I want my threads to reach the bottom, I can untick that. And the moment I untick that, my threads will go all the way. If I do not want, then I can give it the depth that I want to go and drill that. All right. So I've got all of that. That's the ability within the software that you can use to go and make those holes. So I can right click to confirm that. So you can say I've got threads in there. They are not going through. Okay. Then I need to quickly apply chamfers right on the top. I go and say in here, chamfers. And in here, I'll say edges of a face because I need to apply from the top. So I go and select that. You can see how good it is. I can change the size right in here on my chamfers, and or else I can just come in here and type the size that I want, 0.75 as an example, and enter that at 45-degree angle. Okay, there is my part that you can see. I need to quickly save this. I'll save it near part 02. That's an example. Okay, so there is my part that I've saved right there. Okay, then with my part, what I need to do now, I need to create the title, or else some of you might need to print the job and give it to somebody. So you can add masks right in there. The masks are also customizable. You can put your own Kanban logo on the masks as well. So I can quickly go in here. If there's a command that I need and I can't quickly get it right here, there are many ways to quickly go and get the command. I can just type 2D. All right, there is 2D Drawing Manager. Right on my 2D Drawing Manager, then I'm given two tabs right here. The one with my model and the one I can add my 2D masks. So I go to annotations and select load mask. I've got these pre-made masks. Like I said, you can design your own masks and you can create your own masks. So if I go in here, I can quickly go and pick one of my masks in here, and I'm just going to position it right there. Okay, so if we look at this mask, I just put our training Kanban logo right there. Okay, I can add any information that I want right on this mask. Okay, I can dissolve it and do whatever I want on the masks. So you still have got the ability to go and make changes right on the mask. From here, I can go on and say, right on my views, I need to go and show the top projection or the top side of this. So I quickly go and click that one. Then I can bring my part, as you can see here. All right. If I want to align it properly, I can just go and point here. And as I go down, you can see it puts a line right there. So say I want to align it like this, where the two intersect like that, I can position it, or else I can go to this one so that I give it enough space from the top. There is my part, as you can see there. On this part, I've got the ability to view it as a solid. Either I can double click on it. On the option, I can select shaded and select OK. You can see it gives me something like that. So you have got all of these features within your software in Designer. Select, I want to go and view from the front side. I can go and view from the front side of this. I've got some hidden lines that you can see inside of the parts. Should I wish to hide them, I've got the ability to tell it right here, hidden lines in different styles. If I untick that, then it will go away instantly. And you can see, I can just go and position it where I want without distortions like that. The next thing is, say I want to give a cross section right here. I can go to my cross section. There is my cross section. On my cross section, I don't want to show the hidden lines. Then I can set up my hashing, say 7.5. And then I can go and select that. When I select it, the moment I move my mouse like that, it can give me the option to go diagonally. Or else I can just go and say right here, by 2, I can go and just pick up that corner and that corner there. Then I can left click and I can confirm that. So the angle there, where it's going like that, it's because I've got an automatic view. So I can quickly go and tell it, deactivate the automatic view orientation, and I can go and pick it again there. Again, by 2 sides. Okay. So if I go to, so I select that. And like I said, by 2 sides, I can just pick up that and that. Okay. It's off center at the moment, so I need to position it right at the center. It is this one by 2, and I go this one, and that's left click, and then I can right click. Going to position it where I would like it to go and sit, so I can position it right there. We can see the way it's sitting, right? And it is possible for me to bring some other sides as well, detailed sides. I can say I want the isometric part of it from here. So if I go and say I need the shaded view of that as an isometric, I can bring it and position it. You can see there. There is my part. From here, I can go and do my dimensions, should I wish to do so. So I can quickly go and do my dimensions, all right? Before I do that, let me do another cross section across here. So I can go cross section, this one, and right from there, I'm happy. If I want the bottom side, I can just press the space bar, right click, and I can just go and position it, say they would be fine. Okay, there is my part. As we can see, I've got my part sitting like that. We've got a lot of information that you can add right on this, like the detailed views. If you want to go to the detailed views, you can add the detailed views as well. It is possible for you to do that. All right. Then the next thing that I need to do, I'm going to do my dimensions. So if I go right here, I can pick up that. And you can see there isn't straightforward. I can pick up that edge and the top edge. Like that. I can go and check the depth of this one, which is that to that, or else I can just go on top and I tell it that I want it vertical like that. You can see that it can give me something like that. Elements, I can go and pick, say I've got a fillet here, so I can quickly go and pick up the fillet size that I need to measure or to give the dimensions. Pick up that one, okay? And the inside, pick up that. And you can see there I've got my dimensions, okay? I can go further and pick this, say, again, back to the combined, I can pick up that one and this, and I can give that dimension like that. This is just an example. I can go to the text leader, right on the text leader. I can get more information about my threads. Okay, so if I go and pick up, say I pick up this one, you can see this is very good. It gives me the number of holes that I've got, the depth of the holes, the diameter of the holes, and the thread diameter. It gives me all of that information. So this is very good to do, honestly. If I decide to make any changes right in here, say I want to quickly remove the chamfers from my countable, I can just go and say remove face, mod select, and that. If I right click, the chamfers are gone from the countables. If I go to my 2D drawing manager, you can see that it prompts me and I can say yes. And you'll see that it will be updated. You can see that it has been updated. This is very good feature to use in Designer. All right. On this one, this is what I wanted to showcase or to show you guys on the dynamic designing of our parts. So if I can go back to my slides again, right here, right on our topics to cover or what we are going to cover, okay? Quickly go back to that section. It is right here. So we have covered direct solid modeling, the packing adapter. We've done the 2D drawing manager right in there. Okay, there will be time for questions and answer sessions. So I will go on and show you some new features again within the software. So this time, grouping model bodies and applying simultaneous dynamic changes to assembly parts. All right, I've got one of our parts. Let me quickly save this. So if I bring one of our parts that we use, bring this one here, I'm going to open it. I do not want to insert so this brake caliper here, which I've got. Such a nice part. We took it from our supplier. All right. So right in here, I just need to show you the enhancements or the new functions added within Designer in Designer 2023.4. Looking at these parts, we've got multiple parts that have been assembled together. Working with such a part like this one sometimes can be quite complex. So sometimes you might need to hide some of the parts, show some of the parts within the assembly. So in Designer, we know we've got a structure tree. A lot of you know this one. Within our structured tree, you can switch